哦吼，你各位，礼拜六早上又开台了。最近主播怎么开那么勤？刚好事情忙一个段落，之前阵子事情比较忙，比较少开台。最近大概有1个月时间可以好好休息，多加开台。好，今天我们早上来玩一下麦卡雷模拟器，一个西部牛仔的游戏。前面几关我有稍微玩过了，还不错啦，难度也蛮适中的。就是一个背景设定在西部的故事，那主角到处杀人开扁。这个游戏搭着，这个游戏只有英文字幕哦，听不懂的我也没办法。要翻译请找 Google 小姐。
Grey Wolf was a Chiricahua
态度
Apache
图描
medicine
型的
man who
太
had led a
准
war
准
party
时
in
报道。
revenge for a massacre against his people.
点一下技能。Head Hunter。背后的敌人射炸弹。
The U.S. Army had attacked his tribe during
这个
his
已经
daughter's
是
secret sunrise
国
ceremony.
变文盲，好，我尽
The
量
slaughter
游
was
戏中翻译。
unspeakable. I understood his anger, as there's nothing more
这个
traumatic
游戏
than
前面
seeing
几
those
关我已
you
经稍微
love
玩过，
die in a cruel
听说
and
后面比
painful
较难。
death.
麦卡雷。我这风景还是做的不错，这游戏其实不大，才4G 而已，风景还是做的有声有色。
Right from the beginning, I couldn't shake the feeling that Grey Wolf was watching my every move. He led a band of young Apache warriors who wanted retribution
Apache
and were more
warrior
than willing to
阿帕契
die for him.
这西部牛仔好像以前就有那个阿帕契原住民的传说，也不是传说啦。等好久的直播 QQ 哪有啊？我前几天不是才开吗？骗，在那边骗。这游戏很好玩的是，除了杀敌人以外，设一些场景中有的没的还会加分。对，鸟不给杀欸。
They saw me before I saw them.
哟，阿帕契原住民出现了。哎。然后难度是调困难啊。我是觉得应该不会太难。刚刚暖手一下，暖手一下。 这一把
They saw me before I saw them.
0，还没开始呢，好诶！一枪一个，一枪一个。可是他手枪的射程真的没有那么远，明明就觉得瞄到头了，结果还是。
And it crossed my mind that maybe this wasn't such a good
有时候
idea.
手枪瞄到头了，那
Now
还
that
是
the
很
shooting
有
had
办法。
started, there was no backing down.
我要输了，我要输了！哎，看这个人是怎样？他直接冲到脸上不演对。哎，太多人在偷射了吧？故意，给点活路好不好？哦，可以换枪吗？不要。用来用去还是手。哎，这怎么还躲一个人？我明明就瞄到头了。这些人头是铁做的，头铁。
was rugged country, the winter home of the Chiricahuas, and that's why they had retreated there.
还是补一下墙，没有，他会自己补起来，他自己补起来。有一些我明明就不瞄到头了，超奇怪，这手枪都。
I admit to having some regrets about going after them the way I did.
瞄到头都没有跟，好强哦！
I got a lot of those.
有一些猛哎，这阿帕奇武是有点猛。
Not at that moment, but I did find the entrance to their hideout.
看看他有点猛哎，他们是真的有一点点，好像不能拿手枪，不能嬉皮笑脸。来研究一下有效射程，是啊，手枪还是可以爆头。 是有点难，太远。
A deep crevice that led to a deeper cave.
Don't tell me you went in there.
Yeah, but it's not out of bravery so much as pure angry cussedness.
他现在游戏进行的方式就是。 有一个老西部牛仔在讲述回忆他的过程，然后我们就是在玩他的回忆。啊，下去。跑在旁边。哭啊！麦卡雷，麦卡雷。 哦，你有手感喽，手感找回来喽。
See, back then, I had a stubborn streak a mile wide, and I wasn't about to back down.
So it was like pitch black in there?
Actually, it was pretty well lit, as they had torches on the walls.
They have torches on the wall. 没啥，我就是想看看他模组有没有做得好。你比馆长强哎，三枪还不会倒，真的。大弹无情开轰！好像有人在消费馆长。哎，这边有东西可以捡。屁眼，没错，射屁眼，无情射屁眼。Ranger。哦，捡子弹，捡子弹，无情补子弹。
How big was this cave? Big as hell, Ben.
Big as hell.
Out there during the Indian Wars.
哎呦！好，露个头就送你回老家。
They thought it was haunted with the ghosts of those murdered by the horse soldiers.
The cave was haunted with dead Indian ghosts?
这个山洞被原住民的幽灵闹鬼了吗？哎呦！
To be honest, I was more concerned with the live ones than the dead ones.
他比较关心那些活着的幽灵算什么？哎呦，靠近暗中完，得拿出刀枪，大枪枪，大枪枪，一发一个。 手枪刀打好几下才会死。痛哎！困鸟，拜拜，好，晚安，达米，还是早安？双枪侠开起来是不是？我是觉得双枪侠也不错啦，可是双枪侠就没办法瞄准，这也可以双枪侠，射速会比较快一点。
A few years back, I was married to 2 Mescalero
我还是
women.
习惯单
At the
枪。
same time?
麦卡雷
Yeah, they were sisters. Polygyny is traditional among the Mescalero.
So what happened?
Oh, I had to get out of there. Those girls never shut up. Both of them nagging at me all the time. Drove me half crazy. Haven't seen them since.
No, I mean, what happened with Grey Wolf?
Oh, well, I pursued him into the cave
补
of
子
death.
弹要补子弹就是要
I
打
came
我。
upon this flooded grotto, and that's when I saw him. He came to me unarmed and unafraid. His voice echoed in the shadows, and I sensed he meant me no harm.
You carry great darkness in your heart, and if you do not release it, it will claim your soul.
The sound of his voice put some kind of ancient Indian spell on
这个
me.
Grey Wolf 好像是好人。
As his story unfolded in my mind.
You will come to this place again and kill many more men, and the darkness will grow until it consumes everything that you are. The soul would have no rainbow if the eye had no tears.
He said I was a great warrior, a coyote man,
这个 Grey
unequal
Wolf
by
的
an
声音也
elder
太
pale-faced warrior, or something like that.
太好笑了。
Snakes will bite shadows of your past until a venom poisons your heart, and an echo of the song of the dead summons the spirits deep from within the mountains.
哟，
I didn't quite get what he was saying, but there was definitely snakes. And indeed, his warriors surrounded me and attacked me like hungry wolverines. They couldn't stop me though.
哎，
Wasn't in the mood for idle
突然
talk.
就一堆人。 看那个没中，骗人。还有谁
I？ swear I couldn't see any way out of this trap.
还有谁？
Suddenly, one just appeared.
这
Kind of
功
like a
夫开
miracle.
起来，哎呦，这是什么？跑出一个阶梯嘞！枪可以换吗？
I felt like I would be lost in that damn cave forever.
我以为我会在那山洞迷失一辈子，殊不知他后来出
Finally,
来
I
了，
found
成
myself
为
back
麦卡
outside,
雷，
perched on the edge of a precipice, overlooking a thundering white water
就没
river.
按到
To。get where I was going required several leaps of faith, but no way in hell I was turning back.
喂，哎呦，被摔死，老鼠，摔鼠。
I chased after him, determined to make him
完了。
explain the meaning of all that mumbo jumbo.
哇，直接跌倒是这样。哎，刚才偷射。
I
Ew.
chased after him, determined to make him explain the meaning of all that
而且
mumbo
他在跑的
jumbo.
时候是无敌的。
Mumbo Jumbo's right. Are you making this all up as you go?
A few details may be fuzzy, brother, but I am relating exactly what happened to me. There were dozens of Apache warriors aiming at me from on high.
Dozens.
Well, maybe not dozens, but there was a lot of,
At least 3 or 4.
well, more than that, little lady.
哎，他这里怎么躲一个？ 那不讲武德哦。好呗，等一下，回一下血，有点再见。哎，刚才那个人躲在那里是怎样？
I was determined to locate Grey Wolf and find out exactly what the hell he was trying to tell me. And
what the hell he was trying to tell me?
Crafty son of a bitch led me right into a trap.
What kind of trap?
Well, son, there had to be at least 100 Apaches surrounding me.
100?
God be my witness.
Oh, come on. Who are you kidding?
Hey, I believe you.
100个阿帕奇武士，太
All
夸
right,
张
but
了。
I'm not gonna drag this out. Where were we?
You were surrounded by 100 Apache warriors.
100。然后我先点一下技能，背后的敌人 ，execute golden rifle。有什么好料的吗？这个是什么？
Well, I didn't take the time to count them exactly, but there were a lot of them.
喂，讲武德，丢一个来不讲武德的。一个一个下来送这样。哎，送完直接开扁哎！不讲武德嘞，原住民没有在跟你讲武德嘞。这中山还是中山？还有人呢、还有吗？还有谁要下来送？这石头就直接开飞耶，开飞起来。打手枪，打手枪。两只一起打，两只一起。
But it was like that son of a bitch disappeared into thin air.
哦 ，Grey Wolf 灰狼。
Never did find him, and never did collect my goddamn bounty.
没有找到他，没有拿到我们的赏金，所以那个灰狼也是个赏金
Thank you,
猎。
darling. It's interesting how the truth can sometimes seem might malleable, depending upon your point of view.
Like how those dime novels make you out to be something you're not?
Jack, don't be starting trouble.
No, he's right. They do tend to exaggerate.
Did they exaggerate your part in taking down the Daltons?
Well, I was there in the flesh, boy, so I saw what happened firsthand.
哦，下一个那个猎杀对象道顿兄弟。
Those Daltons were lawmen once, before they all went bad, robbing banks and trains clear across the
曾经是执法人员，
until Coffeeville.
后来他们跑去当坏蛋。
I was one of the citizens who took up arms that day.
Fighting on the side of right.
I did my best, sir. We all did.
看来这一对道顿兄弟也不是个好东西。看我们的麦卡雷了，看我们麦卡雷去修理他。
It was early morning. One of my friends was a local gunsmith, and he handed out firearms to anybody who'd take one. You see, the Daltons got it in their heads to rob two banks at the same time. Two banks on the same damn street.
啊，这个是有的，这个是友
Story
军
was
的。
Bob Dalton's girl was always
还有友
lying
军哦。
about how he had no ambition. Oh, you're nobody next to Jesse James, she'd say. Finally, the bastard took his brothers to Coffeeville just to shut her up.
哎呦，要输了！
It's always the woman's fault.
哎，啊，我怎么没子弹了？我怎么没子弹了？但身上不是一堆子弹吗？哎哎，不要啊，不要的！ 我怎么没有子弹啊？对，我再回去一下，等我，不要跑啊！都一个都不要跑。
Well, the locals recognized the Daltons right off. Before they could get away, half the town took up arms to defend their
不是，
property.
他只有散弹枪
Their first
哦，
mistake
手
was
枪只有一
pulling
发
a
子
job
弹
in。their own damn hometown.
外弹比较
Boys
好
grew
算
up。in Coffeeville, so everybody knew them. The bank teller tricked them, telling them the time lock on the safe wouldn't open till
你好
9:30.，
有啥料吗？哎 ，Quick Shooter， 换一下 Quick Shooter 好了。
The brothers paid dearly for their stupidity, but everybody knows they had it coming.
There's more to it than that. I read all about that day, so I know for a fact that it went down very differently. First of all, it was high noon.
It was high noon.
U.S. deputy marshals were on the rooftop
It was
across the
high
street.
noon。这是麦卡利的口语的学习。麦卡利本
The
人
lawmen
吧
had been，
这就
tracking
是
the
麦卡
Daltons
利
for
本人
months. Now they finally had them dead to rights. Among them was a bounty hunter feared by many a lawbreaker. The marshals tried to get the Daltons to surrender.
他现在讲述的是另一个版本的故事啊。刚刚是一个很简单、很草率的结局。刚才我们闯进去那个门，那两个道顿兄弟就直接被我们枪杀。现在讲的是另外一个版本，因为它是用一个故事叙事的方式去进行，所以也有可能有很多个版本。然后我们就是依据不同的版本给他玩，从后面进入 bank。
Then he figured out how to hit the Daltons from a direction they weren't expecting.
从一个他们想不到的角度开扁，道顿兄弟。
A moment later, he was climbing up a steep ladder, laughing at danger as he did.
爬上梯子，他们在哪里？
It was brave men like him who risked their
我们
lives
跳
to
过
tame
那
this
边哦。
wild country.
等下。哎呀！好
We've got company.
，We got company， 没错，里面有客人了。
Heroic men like him who did what other men couldn't or wouldn't to make this country free. Like Jim Bowie, Davy Crockett, who died defending the Alamo.
都是散弹枪啊 ，Six Shooter， 这把好像比较准，对吧
Is that Silas Green? Son of a bitch!
？Son of a bitch！ Son of a bitch， 其实 Son of a bitch 不是脏话，它指的是沙滩的太阳 ，Son of the beach， 沙滩之阳。
Son of a bitch!
这边人都很爱好沙滩，都是很阳光的。他怎么穿模啦？喂！我看他妈的干，直接从那个墙里面出来，搞袍啊，作弊是不是？
Over there!
有点累。骇客任务派遣。 有料吗
That's Silas Greaves! What the hell?
？What the hell？
Blam! Blam! He came away victorious,
躲一
taking
点在这里，
down those thieving Daltons.
都不讲武德这群人。所以这个故事的版本是我们从银行里面进出来，结局应该是一样。你好，一样3枪搞定。
His name was Silas Greaves, and when the dust finally settled, he was the last man standing.
Last man standing.
Sorry, kid, but that just wasn't the way it happened.
这不是这不是原本该是这样。
It was early evening, not high noon.
Not high noon. 在早上，不是中午。这故事的版本要讲几次
I was late to the party and Coffeeville was already up in arms. The Daltons blew up a safe and were all set to hightail it out of there.
完了，感觉我们要被阴了。色的南瓜。
Those pathetic deputies surrounding the bank were dropping like flies.
Dropping like flies. 像苍蝇一样掉下来。哦，道顿兄弟。The leader, the lover, the loser. 3个，原来道顿兄弟是3个人。
I had been tracking those jokers for months, waiting for them to do something reckless. Finally, they did. Those stupid bastards decided to rob 2 banks at the same time in the same town where everybody knew them, but they still had friends in coffee.
那个是其中一个兄弟吧。等一下，谁在偷射我？吃炸弹啊！给我拿盾牌啊！妈的嘞！谁准你拿盾牌了？不是还有一个人吗？3兄弟吗？要对决了吗？对决吧！哎，我走错边了啊！不要让道顿兄弟逃跑 ！Killer！ 啊，我刚才走错边了啦，摆烂了。我该走这边了，我没有看到。哎，有人在绕跑的。西部牛仔对决，有人在绕跑。
I caught sight of the Daltons running with the money and didn't want to lose them. Problem was, they knew the town better than I did. And to top it off, I found myself in the middle of another shootout entirely.
Did the Daltons blow up in somebody's house?
No, it was the Smiths, I believe. They were shooting at the Browns, who were shooting at the Daltons. Which wasn't any surprise. Those two families forever.
等一下。
And since the Joneses are related to the Browns, they shot at the Smiths, pissing off the Heimhoffers, whose daughter recently married. Well, bullets are flying every which way as all the old feuds in Kansas caught fire all at once.
到底，无情到底。冲入你们还躲一躲。
Come on, we gotta get out of here. I think they know who we are. They're stupid idea walkers.
哎，到底从哪里冒出来？完了。
There was a hell of a lot of pissed off people in Coffeeville.
哎，完了。这好像不能硬推哎，推不行吗？那一枪慢慢射。这次等你们出来我再射啊！啊对。哎，那个水桶射一枪就跑一个水，跑一个洞出来。
But that's just the way life is sometimes. Shit happens.
Shit happens. 反正是要 shit 的。还有人吗？无情报仇。可以升级了，点个技能，好像增加防御力的。Waste not。要上来，那好像没料。Open 跟 Break Door， 作为一个西部牛仔，把门踹开是基本。我直接倒地了，倒地，一个光头无情倒地。
The Dalton boys knew I would never give up.
道顿兄弟知道我永远不会
Those
放
Daltons
弃。
weren't the sharpest knives in the drawer, but they always stood together. They set a trap to slow me down and allow at least 2 of them to escape.
哎，哎，干嘛啊？站在那个木头那边好好的吗？哎，啊，好，这边没事。哦，我们要躲。哎。 哭啊！来这招是怎样？啊？对吗？
It was Emmett, the youngest, and he decided to stand his ground and face me down.
I ain't afraid of you, Silas Reeves. This is where it ends for you.
He was determined to protect his brothers. I understood how he
哎，他好硬哦！等一下，
Taking me on all by his lonesome wasn't exactly a recipe for a long fight.
枪爆你头！哎，要死了，要死了，要死了！来个高低差，高低差！
But Emmett Dalton survived the robbery in Coffeeville. He's the only Dalton who did.
They say he was shot 23 times.
Well, Dwight, who do you think put all those damn holes in him?
他被射了23枪，你觉得是谁射的？就是我麦卡利，这是斩麦爷啊！
That boy had grit.
你麦爷永远是你麦爷。 我看今天可不可以破关了？
It took me a couple of days to track the Daltons down.
They can't get away with this.
And in that time, a whole posse of local vigilantes offered to lend a hand.
We'll track him to the ends of the earth.
哦，刚刚只
They
有最
seemed
年
as
轻的
determined
道
as
顿
me
兄
to
弟。
find those outlaws. But as we headed into those swamps, it was like I had my own private army. There was no way those boys were getting away this time.
我们这次带来了很多的援军啊，深入一个沼泽。对，等一下我自己要挂了。
It was early fall, right? Beautiful time of year. At least you had the weather on your side.
早
Not
秋
by my recollection. It was damp and foggy as hell. It was tough to stay on a true course, so we kept an eye out for landmarks.
哦，那些都是队友啊，还给人家射他，过分。
It was autumn. The maple trees were in full color, red as blood.
路就这样长出来，他想讲什么就讲什么。
The rains that year were torrential, so the whole area was flooded. The vigilantes had spread out wide, and pretty soon I couldn't see anybody.
这里面找到道顿兄弟，有人会住在这种地方吗？鸟不生蛋就吵死。完了，错了。
Except for some son of bitches ahead of me wanted to do me harm, so I had to face them alone. I wondered why my compatriots didn't come running when they heard the shots.
喂，我在看枪哎、欸，喂！不要打扰人家看枪好不好？啊？路是指这边啊？对吗？完了，迷路了，迷路斑比。啊，这边嘛，可以出去。
So did you find the Daltons?
Not yet, but I did have the questionable pleasure of meeting a few of their friends.
哎，看那个没中。还没找到道顿兄弟，倒是遇到了他
The
许
boys
多
had
伙伴。
established quite a reputation by that time, so they attracted all manner of riffraff to their cause.
香港。Shotgunner， 2枪送以上，天哪 ！Shotgunner， 地上有炸弹，可恶啊！我发现我都没在开技，完全就是硬刚。再躲一个吗？没了，没了。 都绕到右边了，厉害！点个煮蛋先。哎，射的啦！哎，这个肉颗小龟头，还有谁？还有谁？
Point being, I was under serious attack.
哎，看，等一下，这2个人是 BOSS。等一下，我还想说2个人1枪1个，直接送你回老家。那结果这2个人是 BOSS。
My reinforcements was nowhere to be seen.
哇，被你们2个阴嘞！ 带一堆炸弹干嘛？炸薯谁？是想要炸薯？好，子弹。哎，等等。 讲武德这群人，西部牛仔不是讲究的就是武德吗？多打一下。来点武德。
A barn materialized as if right before my eyes. I scrambled up top to get a better view.
当然了，防止凭空出现，完全合理。
But just ended up falling inside.
So, how did you get out?
The barn doors was open. About right then, I saw some suspicious characters running for the bushes. Of course, I followed them.
有些可疑的人
That
从前面
goddamn
走过
swamp was like a goddamn maze, and pretty soon I had no goddamn idea where I was.
有人打呼啊
Steve?
！Steve 怎么睡觉啊 ？Steve，
So I just started walking, and pretty soon,
Oh.
Steve 打呼声也太大声了，在哭啊！Steve 醒醒好不好？
Steve,
Huh? Oh, no, I'm listening.
Indians surrounded me from all sides.
我被从各方包围了，感觉就是个硬战。
There were Indians.
No, I just wanted to make sure Steve was paying attention. Now, where was I?
You were following the Daltons through a swamp?
That's right. See, Steve? Dwight's paying attention.
No, I'm listening. I was just resting my eyes.
我没在睡觉，我只是在让眼睛
Where
休
was
息。
I?
The Daltons.
Right. See, there's a reason so many outlaw gangs are made up of brothers. Being a brother is a very sacred thing. It's a bond like no other.
Steve 认真听故事好不好？偷睡觉子啊！
Bounty hunters! Stop that, son So did you ever find the damn Daltons?
Not yet. But I did find a few of their cousins. You Kansans breed like rabbits. More Smiths or Heimhoffers or who knows what. But hell, what's more important than family? I'll bet Ben knows what I'm talking about.
这人很爱丢炸弹哦。
Let's see what you got.
还砍露个屁股出来是这样。哎，这个人的，哇，这个人的盾是无敌的。来，弹出去撤退一下。Waste your bullets。吃炸弹。 Shoot, I dare you! 这不讲武德，炸弹掏出来了。那我不是很想要用炸弹，因为我觉得炸弹有点太 OP 了。哎，啊！有啥好料呢 ？Danger。啊，看上面不是有人？哎， 从哪里射的啦？哎，又是个小 boss。
I knew those Dalton boys were out there somewhere, standing together against anyone who would threaten them.
感觉有料哎，在那边看一下，有没有东西可以捡呢？哦，炸弹。 画面好晃，而且如果不跑步的话，移动速度很慢。
And that's when I saw it. A goddamn steamboat.
A steamboat?
Steamboat, 蒸汽船。
Yeah, Steve, but this wasn't much more than a wreck, really.
But how'd a damn steamboat end up in the swamps?
沼泽怎么会有蒸汽
Guess it
船？
floated off during the flood of '89.
Now, was it a stern wheeler or a side wheeler?
What? Does that really make a difference, Steve? It was a steamboat with a goddamn army on board.
船
It was
船
in
上
that
有
fusillade
人
of bullets come raining down from on high. And those vigilantes who accompanied me weren't anywhere to be found.
哎，这很超市。
But among those men that were shooting at me, I thought I saw some familiar faces. 拿机枪哎，越来越不讲武德喽哎，干嘛？ 哎，等，地雷，这样射不到。没了吗？附近有东西捡，好，在上面，到了。 捡这些东西好像只是让你更了解那故事背景。 Somewhere up there, the Daltons were waiting on me.
Sounds like you don't give up too easy.
That's the kind of man I am, Ben. I set out to do something. I'd do it. Surrender just ain't in my nature. Plus, I'm stubborn as hell.
有点准哎，我还没露头，他们就开射是这样。敢不敢再作弊一点？预苗都开起来。
You can't hide from me.
跳下去了。哦，死掉姿势真帅。给他吃番茄酱。还有人吗？
Right about then, much to my relief, the vigilantes finally arrived. Their leader motioned at a cabin in the middle of the top deck. pointing me directly at the Daltons. I finally had them, after months of dogged pursuit.
追了几个月，终于告诉我在哪了。道顿在哪里 ？Street Sweeper。God， 这也是 shotgun 的升级吧？我剩一下手枪好了。Deep pockets, longer combo。别说那个手枪子弹。
Turned out that they had me.
Hey.
Take him out! I'm sending you to hell!
这武警被背叛。
The Daltons had played me
Not so
like a
tough after
fiddle.
all, is it?
Apparently, the vigilantes were on their damn payroll. They didn't just want to shoot me. They wanted to burn me alive. But finding my way out of a burning labyrinth proved to be quite a challenge.
It was a riverboat, right? I mean, it's not like it was a goddamn ocean liner.
Well, yeah, but I was in a
Did you
fight.
hear about that ship that's gonna launch next year? Largest one in the world.
快跑啊！被烫死了！
Ask me, it's too blessed to. I don't
在被
think
讲故事了，要被
anyway,
烫
Be
死了。
stupid, Steve. They know what they're doing. They say that the Titanic is unsinkable.
Oh, God.
But getting back to that steamboat, how'd you get off it, Mr. Breeze?
I took in a lot of smoke that day, so I admit my recollection might be a bit hazy. But somehow I managed to finally disembark. It was time to settle this once and for all.
哦，太爽了！加特林机关枪。忘记把机枪带走了。哎，看这里还躲一个。无情开扫。好多人来送猴子，还有人直接站在路上，这个演。
Bob and Grad weren't about to come at me one at a time. They were in this together. Two brothers side by side, determined to take me down. Confident that this time the odds were on their side.
好啊，这样我们要怎么一次射两个？对决了，就先闪子弹再对决吗？哎，不讲武德哎，两个人对决是怎样啊？两个人同时对决是怎样？先射他吗？先射后面这个出老千的吗？他刚才好像比较快拔枪，你就要先射他。
They got it wrong. A sad end for those two. If they'd only known that Emmett was still alive despite his wounds. Paroled 14 years later, he moved to California and sold real estate and lived off the legend of that fateful day. And the tragic death of his two brothers.
道顿三兄弟就这样陨落了。
My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told.
我的兄弟也输得很惨。Wild bunch.
It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico.
Mexico.
One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys. and I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old. Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy."
别说我什么都不留。
Those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
我们的杀兄仇人现在是跟 Wild Bunch。但是主角这么猛，当时怎么没有掏出
I'd been
想
on their
象？
trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. I figured the Wild Bunch would likely hit such a treasure, and by God, I figured right. They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the
大
train
桥
to
这一段
stop.
也跟 Overwatch 那个太像。
Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above, so I had no choice but to make my way up through the passenger cars dangling down. I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers.
Bitch Bob。 shotgun， 都是 shotgun。
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that bridge.
What'd you say? I can't hear a goddamn thing.
Been shit there.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch
What
them.
the hell?
From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route. But first, I would need to get my ass out of there.
怎么给这么多炸弹？不是这边。本来还想说那个隧道里面会不会有傻子，但是没有。哎呀！
I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados.
Desperado.
Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Time to die.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
我就知道你要阴我。这边我们拿手枪，短兵相接就是拿手枪。
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
这屁哦，从哪边射的？猪啊！
At times it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
还有人吗？有谁活着？New level， 好用的。哦，可以跑步装子弹，好像蛮猛的。Longer combo, faster, revolver reload， 手枪装比较快。边跑边装吧，边跑边装感觉蛮有料。
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a hand.
You mean like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Oh, 戴这个帽子太帅了吧！太多人了吧，喂！ 全部一起 PK 是不是
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the wild bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that?
哎，啊！我下来就再见了。
Who the hell is that?
Retreat， 没有在撤退的啦。我靠，他还趴着射，你很勇哦。炸弹。 哎，这么多枪不会死，你超人哦！但是外面有东西可以捡，这里吗？哪里？ 好，在这边。
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they? Only a few stragglers were left. I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail.
这么方便，是要打人的时候就这样。哎，差不多了，差不多了，哎，差不多了，哎。 那个机枪有时候射一射看不到人在哪。
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flat-Nose Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay.
反正他感觉很强。
Though some folks might dispute that.
他说他有最快的枪哎。 哇，哎，真的是很快哎，哇！看来我们不够快，我们要再快一点，快还要再更快。这感觉是要精准度跟那个速度都要够高才有办法赢。
That very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America. They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
太神了！不知道这到底有几关啊？希望赶快过
I
一
tried to
过。
find Bob Bryant, but it was as if he'd disappeared. Sometime later, I heard the Wild Bunch was back together. Kid Curry escaped from jail, and now he was running the whole shebang. So I took to their trail, because I was still in pursuit of my brother's killer and hoped that he was back with him.
That Kid Curry's kind of crazy, ain't he?
Don't let him hear you saying that.
Anyways, I tracked those boys to a camp right outside Parachute, Colorado. Being outnumbered, I didn't bother with a warning shot. I just started taking those bastards down. Old Bob wasn't among them, and neither was Kid Curry. I could sense him close by, however, plotting something nasty. I just needed a clue as to their whereabouts.
Eh? 爆比较慢。还是这把好一点。这个快一点。啊，从哪边啊？这边吗？ 边啊，我要看这个。
And I found one. A map with their bold plan clearly marked. This time they were fixing to blow up a train trestle. Property of the Union Pacific.
要抢一个太平洋联盟的火车。
The plan clearly indicated how they were fixing to undermine several of the weakest wooden supports.
Kid
Curry was considered the wildest of the Wild Bunch. It was said that he fathered 85 bastard children, though some say it was only 5. Kid Curry had bragged to a whore how he was gonna rob a train heading to the U.S. Mint in Denver. And that whore, Fat Sally, she told me. Of course, I had to tread carefully. Otherwise, I could, well,
狡猾了一下。这应该不会输。
The bridge was rigged with dynamite, so I decided I'd best be careful confronting those bastards. And I made it a point to remove any dynamite that I came across. A moment later, I saw a ladder that somehow had escaped my attention.
Don't you blow us up now.
Don't worry, I know what I'm doing.
牛仔是没有在走楼梯的了。
But the Wild Bunch did not take kindly to my presence and attempted to blow my head off. It appeared the kid had found a number of new recruits to bolster their ranks. Guess there's always desperate men willing to trade their lives for stolen treasure.
Had enough?
What happened next?
Well, having removed the first bundle of dynamite, I decided I might as well remove the other one. Once that was done, I figured I'd find my way from there.
这个射击爽感还是蛮不错的，虽然玩法有点单调，就当看故事吧。
So what happened then?
Had to remove more of that damn dynamite.
It must have been terrifying trying to make your way across.
I was sweating it a bit, but then I noticed a footbridge tied up on high, so I shot the rope.
Give it up now!
但那个人都跟那个场景融合一体。
Funny you should mention that, darling. As actually there was a fourth charge impeding my progress. Once I removed it, my path was pretty clear.
哎，他怎么杀不死啊？还被他阴呢。
So I proceeded onward and realized that that way just wasn't gonna work. I needed an alternate path forward.
他走那边了，哭啊！但是我东西可以捡，在哪里啊？
Luckily, I found a cave, and as I made my way back to the bridge, I saw something that concerned me. It was a long burning fuse, and it was moving fast as hell. I had to catch it.
Had to catch it. 追。
The burning fuse was so damn quick, I had to run like the wind. I almost had it, but no. Thought I was gonna have a coronary when I lost sight of those sparks. My heart was pounding like a sledgehammer.
这边还有哎，靠背，完了，那我追到了。这是靠背。哦，旁边还有路啊。
Get off the bridge! I knew that failure meant boom. Then, finally, at the last moment.
The last moment.
Whew.
Oof.
Of course, I was successful, or clearly I wouldn't be talking to you folks here today. Naturally, I removed the last dynamite charge. Well, it was a touching reunion. But by this time, I was thoroughly exhausted and dragging my ass as I was not a young man anymore.
Kill that SOB! Make him bleed! Send him to perdition!
Finally, I found those boys. Or more precisely, they found me.
Hey, Tracer! Ask me! Not even a damn fruitcake!
"就不能给个瞄准镜吗？搞啥？那个倍镜会不会啊？吃大蛋！叫声也太长了吧！悠扬的叫声，听得我都潸然泪下。
Just when I thought things couldn't get worse, Kid Curry opened up on me with a goddamn Gatling gun. It was hidden in this tunnel and pretty well shielded.
加特林，这样看到 Curry Kid， 今天这么早哦，麦克雷可以起舞吗？有玩困难吗？我玩困难的，玩困难的难。这个肯定是要玩困难的。 哎，一下就数了是怎样？这从中间射到他吗？他把仙人掌射爆了。
Luckily, I had located some dynamite. I still, however, had my work cut out for me.
炸弹射他。炸弹不远丢得到吗？炸弹。炸弹。哦有哎。 我就走在这边偷丢就好了。哎哎，我不才被射到一枪吗？就。 哦，这边还有炸弹可以丢啊！我刚才还以为只有那一些可以丢。炸弹。对。哇！哎呦哎呦哎！哎，等一下，看，旁边怎么会有个人？啊蛋嘞！无情开炸！无情开炸！炸烂你！
Eventually, I brought that tunnel down. And that's when I met Kid Curry himself. He had decided to stop pussyfooting around and deal with me personally.
要对决了，是不是？看他刚才被那些炸弹炸，这样都不会数。 这枪有我快吗？哎，啊啊！要一起死的哦！哇，所以说我不够快咯。 Focus， 反击。
As fast as he was, I was just a bit faster.
I was faster， 我更快
And as he
些。
lay wounded, I demanded to know the whereabouts of Roscoe Bob Bryant. He shouted at me. Is that what this is about? Bob went with Butch and Sundance to South America. You ain't never finding him.
干嘛？哎、
Those were his last words.
都老你一马了，还要偷放枪是怎样？太神了！
So, Bob Bryant got away?
I knew I'd never find him in South America.
What about the other killer?
Yeah, you kind of glossed over that one.
Well, I found Jim not long after my showdown with Ringo. At the time, he was riding with the James Younger gang. Did I neglect to mention that?
Jesse James， 第8
Jesse
章，
James? The greatest outlaw who ever lived?
最伟大的法外之徒。
Jesse and his kin rode with Quantrill when he raided Lawrence, Kansas, and killed near 200 people, boy.
杀了200个人，是这样。
Nothing great about that.
And from there, him and his brother went on to rob banks and trains from Kansas to Missouri.
Which is why there was such a rich bounty on their heads. 40 grand for both of them, dead or alive. That's one hell of a payday.
才4万而已，原想4万。
I confronted them as they were robbing a train.
进来就直接这一
Bullets were
炮。
flying at me from every which way. But I knew I'd have to fight my way forward if I was gonna find this gem.
Quick shooter， 这里应该是 quick shooter 好用。瞎杠，要用瞎杠吗？他穿装甲真的是一。要继续用步枪。
Now wait a second. Now, how'd they stop this train in the first place?
Well, the James boys were experts at this.
Oh. Legend was he could stop a train by standing in them.
They hopped a freight train having heard there was a big payroll in the express safe. So, I hopped the same train. The James Younger gang was decimated after that little fiasco they had in Northfield, Minnesota. So Jesse needed more men and took on the killer I was after, along with a host of others. I was hoping to find my man and put a bullet in his head.
那你得分手。还是我们把这些南瓜炸一炸，算分手。
Climbing around that train, I must have swallowed 100 damn bugs before I
The
reached
James
that.
Younger gang pulled the first train robbery west of the Mississippi.
Sounds like you hold them in high regard.
Everyone knows they were the most famous outlaw gang ever.
And you took them all on by your lonesome. Again. I'm finding this all a little hard to swallow, friend.
Well, maybe you need to wash it down with some whiskey. By the way, did I mention that that train was flying down those tracks like a bat out of hell?
Beat that son of a bitch!
他妈的瞎了是不是啊？在你脸上还不开枪？哎，靠！在射尸体。 哭啊！升个极限。Looting more completing import， 我们根本就没在用 concentrate 啊。Let's reload 吧。Longer combo。
Anyway, excuse me, Ben. Where would I find the gentleman's facilities? Suddenly I have an urgent need to drain my one-eyed snake. Well, I've had more than a few drinks, and I've been sitting here for quite a spell.
Right through there. Let me show you.
啊
It was a rickety ride and quite precarious.
刚刚不是要跳车、啊，我以为要跳车哎、原来是要爬上来吗？是靠北，我刚才还在那边要跳车。
I never heard so much malarkey in my life.
You think he's bullshitting us?
You don't think he's Silas Greaves?
I think he's just some old drunk looking for some free liquor.
Free liquor， 觉得我们是来骗酒喝的，是不是啊？就是这么屌呢。
I don't know, Jack. I think I believe him. You don't think he met Jesse James?
Boy, you gotta be kidding me. That story makes no sense at all.
Jack.
I mean, you gotta be two bricks short of a load to believe that cock and bull story.
I don't agree.
Jack, lay off the
But
bar.
you seriously think that tired old man went toe-to-toe with Jesse James?
Well, that's better. Did I mention that this Jim was married to the infamous Belle Starr? Of course, I didn't learn that until later. Anyway, I made my way forward the best I could. Around the sides, over the roof. At some point, some somebody saw me and shouted out, "It's a damn Pinkerton!" Now, I never worked for that.
看我站你旁边，你还射不到，你也太烂了
I guess
吧！
they
这个烂
assumed
炮
I
兵。
was one of his assassins. Those evil bastards firebombed Jesse's mother's house and killed his stepbrother. So it's no wonder each and every asshole on that train wanted me dead.
Everybody's always mistaking you for somebody else, aren't they? Why is that, I wonder?
Ain't right to know, Jack. I'm just telling you how I remember.
I bet you are.
这里有料吗？六，哎，好黑。查了看，六。哎呦！露个头啊！六。
I came across a flat car piled high with logs and had to come up with a creative way to make my way forward.
我闪后边，这太混乱了吧！
I wondered if I was ever going to find the front of that train, or the bastard I was after. Right about then, I was attacked by some asshole on a Gatling gun.
又是加特林机枪，
Yeah, seems like you run into a lot of them.
Asshole?
Gatling guns.
对啊，这都加特林枪了吧？
Now, I don't remember how I took it out. It was either a bullet or dynamite.
Where would you find dynamite?
Does it really matter, Jack? You're messing with the flow of the story here.
用枪把它狙。射他一下还蛮痛。哦 ，headshot， 也太多枪了吧！ 露个头啊！感觉是你后面那个倒霉。这样逃。
I was looking for Jim and shooting any son of a bitch stupid enough to get in my way.
哎，看他从左手射左边，好贼啊！他好贼。我的来福枪够没子弹了，给我一点来福枪子弹。哎，完了，一直数，这边怎么一直数？那么吃炸弹好了。好吃的来喽！这么拿装枪了，不要演了。要躲多久？那个人吓到我，有人挂尸体挂在那边吓到我。东西，哈喽。自己也太酷炫了。
And that included Jesse James himself.
怎么没有人在这边赢？
Sure were a lot of men determined to die that day.
在那一天，很多人想数哦。
It was then that Jesse detached the express car from the rest of the damn train.
靠北呀！我以为进动画了，结果在喝水。你还要死？ 等，三小，6。
I could see Jesse waiting for me, fixing to kill me so he could get away with all that money.
You had a showdown with Jesse James?
Of course he did.
Showdown.
Everybody knows that Jesse was killed by Bob Ford.
Yeah, Jesse went out like John Wesley Hardin. Coward shot him in the back of the head.
Guess it doesn't matter how far you run, does it, Ben? Your past always catches up with you. Yeah, I didn't kill Jesse James.
麦卡雷
Just wounded him bad enough to convince him to hang up his guns.
一次
What
过
about。that Jim fella? What happened to him?
I figure he was up front with a gun to the engineer's head. That bastard slipped away again. I'll tell you how I got him. But first I need to wet my whistle.
Jesse James。好，我装个水，等下继续播。 回来了，各位，菜瓜鸡鸡，哎，那蒸了一点饭回来啊，边吃边玩。那我们今天就是要通关啊，不通关不睡觉，好吧？不通关不睡觉。
After my showdown with Jesse, I continued to track his brother, Frank, and that son of a bitch, Jim. I followed those bastards into the high mountains as they were going to ground.
What mountains would that be?
Somewhere in the Ozarks, I believe. A perfect place to hide out from the authorities.
In
fact, before I could find them, some Indians who fled the Reds and were hiding out from the military found me first. They probably thought I was a cavalry scout and didn't want me telling the military where they were.
Indians?
Yeah, they could have been Cheyenne, but there was all sorts of renegades roaming the landscape back then.
Hey, 他这闪子弹时间越变越短，好过分哦！哭啊！
Hey, how about another whiskey, Ben? Nothing better to soothe the troubled soul. Now, where was I? Indians, right. I had more than my share of run-ins with the Red Man. Like that time... Did I tell you about Grey Wolf?
Yes, sir. You did.
Oh, of course I did. In fact, I can still remember that old medicine man's words.
Jesus Christ, we're back to that again.
You carry great darkness in your heart. It will claim your soul. You will come to this place again and kill many more men. Darkness will grow until it consumes everything you are. So, did you ever find it? Who? The man you are after. Let me ask you something, Ben. You ever think about death?
Mr. Greaves, are you all
之前那个免费的，对啊，免费的那个领的，可是超划算的，我觉得，这游戏超大的，才4G 而已，我觉得已经蛮物超所值。
Won't you spare me over till another year? What is this that I can't see? With ice cold hands taking hold of me. one can excel. I'll open the door to heaven or hell. Oh, there, someone would pray. Could you wait to call me another day? Oh, there. Oh, there. Won't you spare me over till another year?
So are you gonna answer the question?
What question is that?
Jim Reed. Did you ever find him?
Reed was indeed that son-bitch's surname. That's right, Ben. A despicable character. I remember him laughing like a hyena that cold morning they lynched me and my brothers. He was intent on avoiding my vengeance, but nothing was gonna stop me. Nothing.
造型太麦卡利了吧？
I finally did track those outlaws down. They had long rifles with scopes and were well positioned to pick off any poor soul who came anywhere close.
Rifle 也太弄了吧！我看到了，这是超远地方哎！我靠，到近点才能闪哦。 先让你嚣张一会，子弹飞一会，我上去再修理你啊！哎呦，回个血，西部牛仔吧，还有 slow motion 对啊，派克任务啊。 角度你射不到了，哎呦，看他还射到。
I'm guessing Frank James believed I was responsible for the demise of his brother Jesse. I couldn't really disagree with the man, as I thought Jesse was dead then as well. He backed off as I closed in on him, but he was still intent on killing me.
哎，他怎么都找得到一些奇奇怪怪的角度啊
He backed off again, looking for a better angle on me. Hell, I can't fault Frank for wanting his revenge, as I was there for the same damn reason myself. At this point, I'm guessing you think Silas Greaves is a worse murderer than Jim Reed.
Hey.
No, sir.
A man who spent half his life killing somebody's brothers, fathers, sons.
I think you were just looking for justice, sir.
Is that what I was looking for, Dwight?
他
Is
跑
that
好
what it
远。
was? Justice?
Isn't that why you were hunting the James gang?
The James guy.
哎，
Right. I finally found Frank holed up in his mountain cabin, and he was determined to have me dead.
就是他
It was a pitched battle that could have gone either way. Luckily, I had some dynamite in my possession.
Dynamite.
我是不是射不赢他啊？他好
A
猛
few
哦！
sticks, just in case. It's always good to be prepared.
Right.
I'm just laying out the facts as I remember them, Jack.
他速度超快的啊！哦，这样我抓到哎！那烂泥啊！ 还有炸弹，大一发上你上天，上天！啊！哎，等等，有没有炸弹来？炸弹，这边还有，真快！上天喽！ 回老家喽！就掉下去了。
That old shack? Well, it went tumbling right off that cliff.
With Frank James still in it?
Yes, sir.
But Frank James is still alive, living in Missouri, showing folks around the family farm for 25 cents a tour.
I didn't say he died in the fall, now did I?
I'm done with this damnable outlaw life. Kill me, don't kill me, do what you will. At this point, I just don't give a shit.
I explained to Frank that I had nothing against him personally and that I was looking for someone else.
You want Reed? Have at him. I never did like that bastard. I am done here.
We parted in peace as Frank pointed out the path to my prey before making his way back down the hill.
其实他是真的很强哎，不用炸弹，单纯用枪的话，还真的不知道怎么杀他。可以杀他吗？不行。
So, what happened with Reed?
Well, I finally found the last of the gang hiding in a nearby cave. First, I had to dispatch the lookouts, because I was determined not to let that murderer escape my revenge again. But rather than wander in willy-nilly, I decided it would be better to smoke that sumbitch out. Hey, Reed! I shouted. No wonder you're so ornery. Can't be easy being married to Belle Starr. While you're off providing for the family, she's spreading her legs for every Tom, Dick, and Cole Younger. Not an attractive woman exactly, but very friendly. At least she was to me.
Son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch!
It was then that the last bunch of bandits jumped out of hiding.
Why won't this asshole give up?
Someone please kill him!
现在每个人都拿双枪是怎样？他们很有钱哦。完了，闪周边，哭啊！主播敢不敢拿左轮？不是，到后面拿左轮真的是很难哎、那个瞄准的，那个要射到头有点太难，然后一个人要射好几下，不要啊！哎，怕我们拿左轮，今天就不用睡觉了。他们现在还会边射边走，哎，越来越猛了，这群人。啊！哎，这个人枪是怎样啊？射不完的，子弹射不完了。等一下，喘一下，让我喘一下。那我们在开大绝，好久没开大绝了，开一下大绝。为什么血？为什么血？ 血。那个明明就瞄到头了，然后射还是要射超多下。
Eventually, it was just me and Reed.
还不如直接拿步枪爽射。
I had waited a long time to face him down, so I could repay him for what he did to my brothers.
完了，麦克雷哭了。没事，我们还有艾许可以玩，艾希啊。完了，哎、啊！看什么？我按太慢吗？还是说机器机太烂？哇！我刚刚已经很快拔枪了。这游戏单挑真的很白抽，对啊，都不知道判定到底怎么判定的，他也没说到底要超过几趴才会赢。我先，哎，明明就我先，哎，明明就我先，到底是怎样？还是说我抽枪抽不够快？这个一定要超过一定的速度跟一定的专注才可以赢。吧，有了吧？完了！畅风路3道不是，我觉得他对决的设计可以设计的好一点。那个滑鼠的控制，然后还要边看左手在那个枪的位置，有点闹。可以吧？我这次拔枪速度90，无论如何都不会输了吧？我一，嘿，拔枪速度100%，怎么输？嘿嘿，这什么牛仔模拟器？阿弟阿兔的简单多了。
Well, I don't know about you boys, but I'm pretty beat.
Well, it's too damn bad you never found that Bob character. Seems a shame he never had to pay.
Well, funny thing about that, I did have one more chance at it.
又在玩奇怪的游戏，还好吧？我要棒曲，刚才不是杀过了吗？
6 months ago, I heard that Butch and Sundance were back in the States and had gathered up some of their old gang.
提早拔枪不是荣誉击杀，不要啊！
Roscoe Bob Bryant had returned with him.
每一个都要荣誉击杀。麦卡雷没有在放人家冷枪的啦，都是正面对决。卑鄙击杀，卑鄙麦卡利是不是？不好意思啊，我们这边不是卑鄙台啊。 这边是正面对决台啊。
40 years I had waited to get my hands on the last of my brother's killers. Not even an army of demons.
啊，帅台没错。啊？干嘛？
Ringo and Jim Reed fell fairly quickly.
他妈，不每一枪都射在头上，最好是都没有 head shot。
That son of a bitch had managed to escape my vengeance time and time again. I couldn't even be certain I'd recognize him after all those years. By now, he had to be close to 70.
For all you know, he could have been dead.
哎，到底有多少人？哎，到底有多少人？弄疯了哦！是。好，我们这次射慢一点，看他多，看你有多少人。
Both Johnny Ringo and Jim Reed fell fairly quickly, but the last one, Roscoe Bob Bryant, that son of a bitch had managed to escape my vengeance time and time again.
哎，不要哦，
Couldn't
不要
even
哦，
be certain I'd
等下
recognize
哦
him，after all
等下哦
those。years. By now, he had to be close to 70.
For all you know, he could have been dead.
一次出这么多人是怎样？
That thought had indeed
讲武
crossed my
德
mind, as did others. For instance,
去卡西迪耶，哎，不是，他刚刚有一个 Jesse 什么的啊，这个又是卡西，这个又
by
是
this
卡西
point
迪
in my
的。
storied career, I had killed more men than Bob Bryant ever had.
人家 Overwatch 你继续
I
抄
was
没关系哦。
furious as hell at that bastard for making me who I am. A man with no family, no friends,
走错路啊！
no purpose except shooting Bob Bryant dead. 好，起来。哎，什么东西？直接在那边开散弹。 Could stop me from taking his life.
哎，终于有
Been
rifle 可以
after
换
that
的。
killer forever. From the time I rode with Billy the Kid. But that chapter of my story you already know.
Chapter of that fairy
啊，有
tale,
比
you
较
mean?
强吗？
Suddenly it was 1910. Here I was, an old man roaming a ghost town dead almost 2 decades.
Dun, 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 dun. 他的来福枪从头到尾都只有一把，刚刚那一
The town was falling apart, just like me.
他好被忍者乱秒坏，谁准你在那边飞了？这是禁飞区啊！好像没什么子弹，哦有了，109，是。
But I wasn't about to call it quits. Even though the ghosts of my dead brothers were begging me to end what I started so long ago.
Mr. Graves, are you all right? Would you like some water?
The Wild Bunch knew I was there. They were after a treasure they had hidden before they fled, buried in the grave of a dead amigo. Some folks think the town is haunted, so they figured there wouldn't be many people poking around. I intended to fill that grave with Bob Bryant's corpse. But like I said, the bandits knew I was on to them. They lured me in and hit me with everything they had.
哎，等等，哦，火力有点强大哎，那我要掏出大枪哦，要搞这样是不是？哎，靠谁？我好炮，不是，这不是炮，这个是手枪，它的伤害本来就这么低。哎，干嘛？ 怎么上面有个人在射啊？看面位好不好？有人吗？哎！是他们火力怎么突然变这么强大了？那我要推上面哦。这可以射吗？啊，这边没得射啊，很小啊。好像刚刚是在丢炸弹的。啊，对。哎，那个缝还可以射，这是鬼吧？完，要这样是不是？好啊，大家来吃炸弹哦！你两个丢，来吃炸弹哦！大家来吃炸弹哦！要这样是不是？好啊！哎。这边是怎样啊？他们炸弹也太多了吧！就这么等它炸开就好了。这人在干嘛？站这么近是怎样？完了，出去开大准备。等，有他！不要再丢炸弹哦！不得。作弊做够了吧？哎，刚才那个没中。
So I suppose we're talking to a ghost.
Funny you should put it like that, Jack.
Hey, huh?
Because when I woke up,
看也太多人了吧，哭啊
From the dead?
there was silence all around me. I could swear to God I saw Billy then.
Billy who?
Billy the kid.
William
Billy the
Bonney.
kid. He was shooting at me from a rooftop. Here, there, even over there.
So I am right. You are touched in the head.
Mr. Greaves, perhaps we should switch you to coffee?
You see that old Indian again, too?
No, but I did see Billy's killer, Patrick Floyd Garrett. He came at me guns a-blazing. But I knew that old war horse had died 2 years before. I wondered if maybe I was dead too and confronting the ghosts of my past. Perhaps all my sins were coming back to haunt me and drag me down to perdition.
Billy the Kid 是我们前几关杀的人，你也杀的对象。哎。人都没看到就死。哦，干，他们全部都变成幽灵了。你不要这么过分好不好？
I saw Henry Plummer throw dynamite at me. And in the gates of the cemetery, I saw John Wesley Hardin. Just like I remember.
What? 闪错边，哎呀！太多人了吧？哎，完了。 哎呦，不行哎，不能这边硬刚哎。那我们慢慢打一下。哇，躲那个位置。哎，看，他们好猛哦！还是不要拿双枪，这么猛的吗？他们现在这么猛了吗？啊，刚刚那什么？哎，不要再射喽，太多人喽，这些幽灵有点太猛喽。还有谁？等一下，等一下。这些幽灵敢不敢再作弊一点？哎，传一下，点一下技能，点一下技能。哇！没了吧？那这些幽灵也太强了吧！作弊哦。Computer。他都没有来福枪可以换。没了。那我们来福枪快没子弹。
Robert Ollinger appeared with his terrible double-barrel shotgun.
Double-barrel shotgun， 哎，干嘛？干嘛？怎么到这边突然变？哎，完了，要从这边重打哦。哦。那边不是已经算结束了吗？来，再露个头试试看啊！哎，还真的露个头了。哎，到底从哪个角度射到的啊？看你还没死，炸弹。
In the gates of the cemetery, I saw John Wesley Hardin, just like I remembered him.
还有谁？还说这边要拿虾杠，虾杠很烂。
No ghost army was stopping me.
My my father-in-law got hit with a fallen branch, he spent the rest of his life talking to dogs.
小亚特兰提斯哦。
Newman Hayes Clanton, William Brocious, John Peters Ringo, they all wanted me dead.
哎，太多人了吧？这脚脚，要数了，要数了，又要数了。哎，好的。
The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead.
还有吗？还有谁？看还有哎。哎，痛！以这哎。要数了，真的要数了。
George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond.
其实双枪还蛮作弊，这有点太强了。还是说这些
Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed,
幽灵比
each
较软？
one deader than the next.
哎，
I thought
还
I was
有
going crazy.
哎，等，哎，太多人了啦。
The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan,
哦，我不用从
guardians of the Garden of the
道
Dead.
顿那边开始。
The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan,
我不能走出去啊！
guardians of the Garden of the Dead.
哦，真的，我只能待在中间哎，太烂哦！还想说站个高点，然后打一点，不行哎，不跟你站高。
George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the great beyond.
好痛啊！
Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed, each one deader than the next.
太多人了吧？这样搞围殴不太好哦，讲武德哦。
Finally, I saw Harry Alonzo Longabaugh.
The Sundance Kid?
Like a general leading his legion of the dead.
You told us before that you see him alive.
He was alive.
哎，好痛！啊！看，一发喷这么重的。哎，等，他有点猛，射不到我。哎，看，他还有近战哦。哎，射不到我。哎，看，他会跳哎。好，大家都在装子弹。哎，射不到我。干！不要再用这一招欠招了！一百，太硬了吧！我操嘞！呀，人家我就跟你玩啊，这招跟你 PK 啊，卡一个死角怎么样？哎呦，好痛！ 等我蹲下的时候，他的shot杠射不到我。 哎呦，哎，我真的真的要数了。啊？难道这招没用吗？哎呦，好痛哦！哎，但他喷子也太强了吧！完了，我们今天会不会就停在这？哎，很痛，很痛，很痛，很痛！哎，哈！哎，不能吃到2下，哎妈吃到2下就直接再见了。
Finally, I saw Harry Alonzo Longabaugh.
The Sundance Kid?
Like a general leading his legion of the dead.
You told us before that you'd see him alive.
He was alive.
啊！为什么要抓他换3次？我们要数哎！哎呦！哎，换一下子弹，换一下子弹。下面一位。
I heard a voice call to me from afar. It was Robert Leroy Parker,
他也太强
a.k.a.
了
Butch
吧！我
Cassidy,
操！
coming at me from out of the fog.
不过今天网络不好，一直回缩。我看这还好哎，你要不要重整一下你的 Twitch？ 卡西迪 ，Sundance Kid。3个卡西迪是这样。
But the kid wasn't quite deceased. Not yet.
Takes more than one little bullet to kill the likes of me, partner.
Those two looked like they hadn't seen each other for quite a while. Clearly, they were no longer amigos.
哦，3人对决。
Shit. I was hoping I wouldn't have to kill you.
You won't have to, Butch. I'm killing you first.
I asked them about Bob Bryant, but they were too busy with their own heated conversation.
Let me get this shit straight. You want my money and the love of my life?
You frittered it all away, Butch. Eda's mine. So is that damn money.
I didn't want to shoot anybody until I had an answer to my question, but those boys didn't give me much of a choice.
3人对决要怎么对啊 ？Q1， 哦，要看。大家都互看的，是这样。完了，我好像急不够。完了，急不够啊！爽到那不是啊？哦，3人对决会。 3人对决，我们应该是射没有在看我们的那个吧，这样我们才会是活下来的那个、啊。因为如果我们是在射看我们的那个，我们2个对决的话，那活下来的就会是没有在看我们的那个。 哦
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid died there in that cemetery not 6
太
months ago.
神了，2个都是我们杀的，还敢挑战我们麦爷？你麦爷永远是你麦爷。还有吗？通关了没啊？好像删游戏了。
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were killed by the Bolivian army. Everybody knows that.
That's the legend, but it ain't the truth.
So, you never found Bob? There is no Bob. This old sumbitch ain't even Silas Greaves.
Sir, is that true? Have you been pulling our legs this whole time?
Well, not the whole time.
Oh, man, I think you've worn out your welcome here.
Maybe you're right, Jack. Maybe it's time to pay. You see, Ben, or should I say Bob, your past always catches up with you.
哦，原来他就是 Bob。这酒店老板原来就是
I was a
Bob。
different man back then, crazy. Drinking, I've changed my ways, I swear to you. If I could turn back the clock,
But you can't, Bob.
Yeah, you can. 哎，我们可以决定他命运哎。救赎还是复仇？他看起来确实是一个不一样的人啊，但是血债血偿吧，杀人偿命吗 ？Revenge。
Why'd you toy with me like that? Telling those tales, knowing all along. Why not just lay your cards on the table?
Here. I won't have it said that I left you with nothing.
哦，他用对决决胜哦。
That's how you want it? So be it.
So be it. 杀兄仇人。
Move against that wall. Go.
哎，这个完全没有准确度还是什么？会不会出老千啊？
Oh my God! Oh Jesus!
Easy peasy， 老头十边曲。
Did you know it was him all along?
Cassidy told me Bob was in Abilene before he died. But I wasn't sure Ben was my man until he revealed how much he knew about Ringo and Reed. The coin, of course. Well, that was the last nail in that particular coffin.
I better go get the sheriff.
You okay, boy? You're looking mighty shook up.
Dwight, maybe you best go home. Young Eisenhower here is leaving for West Point tomorrow. He shouldn't get caught up in something like this.
I think I might head out myself at this juncture. Unless you want to stop me, Jack.
No, sir, Mr. Greaves.
So where are you going now? Now that you had your revenge?
Doesn't really matter, does it? As I've sold my soul for it, and will never again walk with those I have lost.
Woof！ 这就是麦卡利的故事啊。Where are you going? I'm going Overwatch.
Won't you spare me over to another year?
就是这样，其实这个游戏做的还不错诶，虽然4G 小小的，但是玩起来的游玩性还是蛮棒的，蛮酷炫的啦，体会一下西部牛仔的生活。也在血肠抢火车，免费的不错了，真的。它原价也要400， 确实是赚到了。The West True West difficulty. 它还有更难的难度，所以 hard 不是最难的，还有更难的难度。我，哎，这个是练习是不是？好了，我们就不练习了。然后我们已经通关主线了吗？好了，结局就是这样了。我玩的是第2个难度啊 ，Hard， 它总共只有3个难度 ，Easy、Hard 跟 True West。只是 True West 的话，要从头再打一遍。那我们就不玩了。True West 的应该是你中一枪就死了。我觉得敌人血量应该不会变，只是你中一枪就死，跟真实世界一样。好了，我们开多久了？2个半小时，差不多了吧？好了，差不多了。我们今天的早上擂台开到这吧。太18小了，不要吧，不要吧，又没有加班台。这边不是妹子泳装加班台啊，这边是类病台啊。凑整数哭啊！然后我们凑整数要凑2个小时啦，现在开了2分38，凑2个小时了，错了不错了。好了，各位，关台了。